Yeah, welcome everybody for another Company of Heroes 3 cast. This time it's me, Herr Blautier, playing as the Wehrmacht, and I'm playing against SHINJP, playing as the US Forces. And the reason for this cast is that recently I heard that some people are struggling against US Forces and their rifleman spam. And some even consider the fraction as being overpowered, and I actually don't share that opinion. And that is due to two reasons. The first one is that I myself actually managed to hit rank 34 with US Fraction. I didn't felt that this fraction is overpowered at all. The other reason is that at this stage of the game I still was exploring the Wehrmacht fraction. And I mean, I was a little overwhelmed initially by the rifleman spam. However, I managed to counter it, and I think it was not undoable. So I think you have to pay attention, but it's not too hard actually. Yeah, and with that, maybe we consider that yeah, the US versus player indeed was not a bad player. That's another thing. So SHINJP is a rank 113 player, at least after our match, and yeah. With that, I think, yeah, this replay somehow depicts that the US forces are not overpowered, I guess. And now let's have fun. So I went for the Luftwaffe doctrine because, or the Luftwaffe battle group, because I often enough saw a player using that battle group effectively, and before the match I took a look at the options you have as Wehrmacht, and I shared the opinion that the battle group is, yeah, maybe the best idea to go for. I decided to use the para-dropped engineers to build up some victory point pressure to the enemy. I think that actually worked. The other reason why I went for this strat was that I at the same time was going for the Kettenkrat. And the Kettenkrat in combination with the, I don't know what the ability is called, however the ability you can give to your Kettenkrat, it grants you additional resources when you cap territory, so I wanted to make sure that my Kettenkrat is mainly capturing resource caches. And my infantry is just capturing victory points, manpower points, stuff like that. Will we see that? I think now it's showing 10 ammunitions, and soon it should be, yeah, 13. Okay. Right, so since I expected somehow that the US Forces player is, yeah, going for several riflemen, I decided to go for an MG. Actually, he wasn't even just spamming riflemen, but these scouts as well, so to have more capping power. So I think after all it was a good idea to go for the MGs. Here we see a little bug, so the MG is not assembling when you use attack movements. That's really... maybe that is the reason why some people are struggling with Austria, because I assume that many people are using these attack movement orders. And when the MGs are not assembling, yeah, of course, then you have huge issues. What we saw at the south is that my Pioneer squad initially decapped the fuel point, and then my Kettenkrat came across and finished the capping so that I got the additional resources again. So this fight actually is to my favor. He overextended severely, and now I'm coming from the south and I'm able to kill everything he's having over there. I predicted the retreat path to be towards my MG. Unfortunately, it assembled quite late, so yeah. Still, I get the vibe, I guess. However, not due to my MG. Okay, there it is. Flamethrower engineer's gun. So, and at this point of the game we already see that the capping power of the US Forces player is huge. Even though I'm playing the Kettengrad, he is having severe capping power. And he plays quite actively, so he dodges the nades, for instance, that's nice. Yeah, and as we can see, since I already noticed that he went for, I think, 2 or 3 scouts, I guess, as well as, I think, 4 riflemen. Yeah, I noticed that he's building up this spam thing. Thus I decided to go for the second MG43. And I believe that I actually built a third one. Yeah, in the meantime the Kettengrad is still doing capturing thing. And unfortunately I didn't notice the scout squad in the north at my fuel caches. Yeah, thus he was able to decap first the lower fuel cache. And then after I recapped the upper fuel cache, he instantly went up to this one and decapped it as well. Unfortunate Blautier.
We have finished the research.
Yeah. Oh, actually, there were even 2 scout squads, so... Here we see something interesting. I'm not sure whether I'm glad about this. So actually I'm not sure whether I dislike it or whether I like it. So as you saw, the MG didn't manage to pin down the 2 squads that were heading north initially, but just one. And after that I targeted the sauerkraut squad, and pinned it for a few seconds, but not entirely, so it managed to get away. And I think in Company Fears 2, actually the entire engagement of the US Forces player would have been pinned down, actually, easily by then. However, it didn't work, and yeah, maybe it's a good thing, because that makes engagements a little bit easier. And MG usage a little bit harder, but could be a good thing. I'm not quite sure, but could be a good thing. So, in the meantime, we see that manpower, victory points wise, the game's still for my favor. Our resources wise, I think the US Forces player has a slight advantage at least. Maybe even a big one, I'm not quite sure. Yeah, no, he cut me off all my resources, so that's bad. But at the same time we see the clear drawback of this tactic. So, since he's spamming that severely, and actually spamming for the decaps that severely, he is overextending all the time. And he already got the first squad wipe of the Flamer Pioneer. And I assume, despite from 1 squad wipe I will receive soon, he got a few more squad wipes later, so yeah. Up there in the house, the Flamer Pioneer will kill my pile. Okay. That's bad. Interestingly, so far I didn't went for the third MG. Even though I had the manpower. I think I was a little bit overwhelmed by this game because, yeah, still I was a little bit new to the fraction and had to search for some things. Thus I am floating close to 600 manpower. 122 fuel, ammunition. 88 fuel. It's all quite a lot. Trying to throw a nade. Will you dodge it? Yeah, okay. That was not that effective.
Commandant, territory sector lost.
However, despite from the decaps, I managed to get back on the field quite quickly because of the MGs. Yeah, that's the third MG, and of the Kettenkrad. The Kettenkrad actually is insane. Even though he's decapping all my stuff all the time, I have no resource issues at the moment. Oh, that was a nice drive. I remember that. That was really good. I noticed it shortly before, but then I just didn't act quickly enough to prevent the Kettenkrad from dying. Now I'm triple capped. That's bad. But no need to be concerned, because I still have enough points left. Yeah, okay, so I think that is the point of the game where he is receiving several squad wipes. For some reason he decides to get greedy and focus my MG. I think, yeah, that was not a good idea. My initial nade didn't come out, that was bad. And it didn't even kill both models of the squad. However, now both squads are dead. Uh-oh. But at the same time, still he is having so much infantry left. It's incredible. However, not a big deal actually. Because now I have 3 MGs and I have an anti-tank gun, so I feel well prepared for everything that could come. I mean, a second anti-tank gun would be nice. However, I think I am just about to spend my resources for another tech, so that I can go for the T4. T4, not P4. However, actually both. The P4 coming out of the T4.
We are losing possession of a capture point.
Maybe will he get the MG? No, he won't. Will I get the wipe? Yes, I will. Yeah, so I think that is one of the biggest drawbacks of this spam and cap spam tactic when US players are doing that. The issue here is that the US Forces player is not playing light vehicles, support weapons, stuff like that. He's just only spamming the Riflemen and 1 sniper apparently now, but he's instantly losing that because of his overextending tactic. However, at the same time, I think this overextend stuff is really necessary when you want to play this tactic, because otherwise you won't have any use of this tremendous amounts of infantry. Yeah, so I think that is the biggest... he tries the strife again. So I think that's the biggest drawback of this rifleman spam tactic. You have to extend on the map, and you have to pressure your enemy, which ultimately leads you to overextend all the time, and with that lose many squads, or at least risk them. There again, I mean, it's again a huge overextend. Huh? And I think we already see that the pressure is decreasing a little bit. Don't know, will we get another wipe? Most likely. These are just scouts. Scouts are weak. Okay. I mean, he again is trying to turn the tides soon with tremendous amounts of Sherman tanks. So that will become Yuki again. that engagement is not a good idea of mine. So I'm just engaging with my MG. I mean, I think still it will work. However, on the other hand, yeah, it's not having that much impact. It just took damage, so not really useful. Then I soft retreat. That's the next mistake, because I already knew that the two rifleman squads are coming from north, or the rifleman and scout squad respectively. Okay. I thought mines win games. Let's try to do that. Okay. Now, 3 MGs, an anti-tank gun, stuff like that. I decided I wanted to fight here a little more to bait him in so that I can get a few hits with my anti-tank gun. However, it was a little bit too greedy actually. Now the anti-tank gun is firing. He's dodging all the nades, by the way. Very, very strong. Very well played. Despite from the Sherman push, he was dodging the nades. That's huge. However, it takes some hits. And in the meantime, I'm getting back some map control, which is really important for me at the moment. Because still 12... Okay, now 10 munitions to go for the P4. What we just saw here is the high ground advantage. As you saw, the anti-tank gun was not able to hit the Sherman with its last 3 or 4 shots. It was shooting all the time, but the last 3 or 4 shots didn't hit. And there's the second Sherman. And that is because of the higher ground advantage, or that the anti-tank gun, or the barrel of the anti-tank gun is located quite low at the ground. And thus obviously you can imagine when the anti-tank gun barrel is over here, then there's a hill and it has to aim upwards, but the tank is standing over there, then it will hit the ground instead of the tank. Obviously, right? So that was what we're seeing here. I already observed, however, that when you are firing with, let's say, a Tiger or an M3 Grand, stuff like that, the same issue, which is occurring due to the high ground, isn't that severe anymore, because their barrels are just located a little bit higher than the barrels of anti-tank guns. That's interesting, isn't it? That was unfortunate. I think it's coming away. For some reason that... Yeah, it missed. So sad. So sad. Because now the Panzer IV is kicking in, and I think... There's the third Sherman. So we see this spam tactic at its finest. 3 Shermans already. I think we saw like 5 scout spots already, like 4 or 5 engineers, 4 or 5 riflemen, so he's spamming the hell out of me. Still, we saw the drawbacks. He needed to overextend and got a few wipes, so I think it's fine. Yeah. Now I'm trying to build up my front line with camping MGs and a few anti-tank guns. I think I will go for a second anti-tank gun soon, since I don't have the fuel to afford another Panzer IV. If you pay attention to the minimap, I am only playing with using the minimap. I like that way more than playing with the tactical map, actually. Because every time you are using a tactical map, you are investing 2 moves or 2 actions. And I mean, we all just have limited APM, so I think that was a mistake. I was wondering, what is that? I hear the plane and I see the flares, but what? There's nothing coming in. So I decided to go back, and it was a mistake. Now I lost 3 models, I guess. Okay, anyway. Yeah, the minimap. I don't like to use the tactical map instead of the minimap. Yeah, because of this micro investment. And when you're just using the minimap, then you don't have to open and close the tactical map again and again. So I think that's an advantage. I can recommend to do that.
Enemy forces have captured a
I know that other really good players like, let's say for instance, the Pope, he's using the tactical map, and obviously he's good. However, I think Tightrope or Helping Hands, they are not using the tactical map, they are using the minimap. I guess. So you see both tactics are working. However, I'm a fan of using the minimap. Okay, now we see the next German push. I think that one is a little bit greedy. I already got my second anti-tank gun. I am not well prepared for this push, but still I think it's not working out too good for him. I messed up my micro a little bit. Oh, he's getting another airstrike, that is good. However, one German will die, right? The airplane didn't even shoot. Did you see that? I think that was a little buggy. Unfortunately, at this very moment, I lost one or two MGs. I think two actually, and I forgot just to recap them. Very sad. However, I have two Panzer IVs now, and I decided, okay, let's push for the base, kill the rest of the Shermans, and I saw, oh wow, there's already the next one. Fuck me. Okay, however, he's also seeing his advantage, because I was doing a mistake. Loses another Sherman. At this point of the match, I was really a little bit uh-oh, because maybe if you paid attention to the unit control at the top right, in the meantime I was selecting my anti-tank guns several times and tried to get them to the field, but for some reason they were buggy and were not there again. They were not coming. They're not moving at all. I have no idea what that bug is. So yeah, that is an issue, because I mean I am playing with hotkeys all the time, and when you select your anti-tank guns using the hotkey 4 in this case, usually I have my anti-tank guns at hotkey 4, and they are not coming. Yeah, I mean then that can be game. However, at this point of the match it's not. Unfortunately the scout's coming away. Meh. But I think the rifleman in the north should die, right? Yeah, it's running straight through my Panzer IV, isn't it? Yeah. Yeah, okay. Okay. Yeah, the Panzer IV still needs some rest after this rough battle. That's fair. I feel that. The poor Panzer IV, actually. He lost all his Panzer friends. Oh boy. Just imagine to be a Panzer IV losing all your friends. Alright. Still, two anti-tank guns, one Panzer IV, paratrooper, a Gren, and one MG left. I was hesitating. Shall I get another engine? No. I decided to go for another Gren, since these guys can snare enemy vehicles. Then I thought, okay, this MG is not in green cover for some reason. Or at least the green cover sign was not visible, which confused me a little bit. However, now I think we already see that the US Forces player gets a little bit distracted. I mean, he's already blob capping and doing mistakes because he noticed, oh right, I think my spam tactic is not working out as intended. Oh boy. And that obviously is to my advantage. I mean, I messed this nade. I messed up this nade. Unfortunate miss of my Panzer IV. I decided to get a little bit greedy and engage again with my Panzer IV. we see another airstrike. That one was not that effective this time. What do you see in the north there? Is there another squad of the US forces player? I have no idea. Let's pay attention to the minimap. Is the red dot disappearing? No, he's dodging the nade again. Yeah, actually, the US forces player is... he's actually really paying attention. He's playing well. We like that. Alright, I need some more repair capabilities actually. My Panzer IV is low on health and most likely the Panzer fleet of the US forces player already increased again by, don't know, maybe one Sherman at least. I'm not quite sure actually whether he already got the 76mm gun upgrade. But at the same time, he doesn't even need it, I guess, because he's penetrating anyway, so... Okay, minute 26, and he's triple cap, 99 points left. And it's becoming quite quiet. Trying to get the one victory point. So the tides obviously turned. And now I think, yeah, okay, but I also have to make something out of the situation and try to engage. I even considered to engage with my Panzer Force. Another wipe for him. Oh, I was paying attention and I think I didn't engage as long as they were low on health. I think it was a good choice. Wow, now he... yeah, I forgot about that. He got himself a recovery vehicle. Incredible. And there we see one snare popped off, but that's another thing. So these snares actually are bugged, not just the Panzer Schrecks, or Panzer Fist, Panzer Faust, Panzer Schrecks, I don't know. No, but also snares of the US forces, of the British forces, all the snares you can use are bugged. So I have no idea what the probability of coming out of the snare is, but actually it's not that high. So even if an enemy vehicle is in range, obviously, and the snare, the animation of the snare coming out is already working, even then sometimes the snares aren't popping out. That's really nasty. Okay, another epic Panzer battle. I tried to seek cover of with my Panzer IV. Unfortunately, the Hellcat already is dead. And he lost all his tanks again. One of my Panzer IV survived. Oh, no, actually the Hellcat managed to get away. Okay. Still, he lost 2 Shermans. And I just lost 1 Panzer IV. However, the spam is raging on! Yeah, but I think that is the reason why I don't think that the US forces are overpowered. I mean, even though when you don't play the spam tactic, no, then you are having a better army composition and play the game a little bit more clean. Now he's dropping the GG. Nice. However, when you decide to play the spam tactic, then we saw the drawbacks. So your army composition sucks actually, because you're just spamming infantry, mainline infantry actually, and tanks afterwards. And he didn't even build one anti-tank gun, I guess. He built one sniper, but he didn't build any MGs, any mortars, stuff like that. And when you decide to build these units, yeah, then obviously you can't spam your mainline infantry that much, which again is a drawback for you. I mean, something you have to do something actually, and either you do that or that. And since some people consider this spam tactic to be overpowered, I have to say no, I don't think so. As we saw, the drawbacks were you're lacking other weapons like MGs, mortars, stuff like that. And you have to overextend. You have to overextend, otherwise all your mainline infantries are useless. I mean, what else would you like to do with your mainline infantry if not capping or fighting? I mean, yeah, so yeah. So you have to overextend, and then you get several, or you risk your squads and risk some squad wipes. And the same applies for your vehicles, for your armor. So when you are just having Sherman and Hellcat tanks, the only thing you can do is trying to push hard in combination with flanks and stuff like that. And we saw that he actually did that quite well, or she, I don't know, quite well. So really well played at this point. Yeah, but we see it's not working out when your enemy is playing the correct counters, like anti-tank guns at this in this case, as well as infantry that can snare. Yeah, then I think the entire tactic is countered. So maybe even let's use this cast as a how you may play against US infantry and tank spam. Yeah, maybe just like that. And with that, let's say GG and well played, and let's have a good time.